and welcome back to the Irish Hunting Podcast, the number one place for your hunting, fishing and country sports stories from around the world. Stick on the kettle, crack open a beer, pull up the feet, relax and enjoy. Hello, and welcome back to episode 113 of the Irish Hunting Podcast. This week, myself and Robert sit back and reminisce on some of the most interesting stag and hind hunts we've had over the last couple of weeks. We chat through the input of social media in our sport, both positive and negative. We give out a little bit. And, of course, we have a bit of crack. This episode was brought to you by Game Cooling Ireland for all your game cooling and preparation needs. For more information, visit gamecooling.ie. Enjoy this one, folks. Robert.
Welcome back again.
Taking number 56 here.
We're only coming to terms with this technology.
It's actually hopping there at the minute, my man. Hopping. Look at that. Great sound. How are you keeping?
Good. We're upstairs in your little snug area.
We are, yeah. We're just talking about that. We're building gun stands and glass cabinets for guns and all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
We were just thinking there's a niche in the market.
There is.
For someone here in Ireland. If they wanted to make like a gun cabinet, a secure, approved gun cabinet with bulletproof glass so you can just look in and admire your pew-pews.
Imagine having, just over the Christmas there, you're having an old glass of whiskey and you could just stare at them.
Yeah.
You know?
Little downlights.
There is something wrong with us, man. Maybe these aunties have something, maybe we are a little bit
tapped.
No. Come here, how are you keeping?
All good. I'm delighted with myself.
Yeah.
Obviously, the last podcast was with Larry Taff.
Yes.
Getting the Sika head measured. Now, it wasn't, it was double-edged. Part of me wanted to get it measured because I've never gone through the process. We knew it was a decent stag, but it was also to let new shooters into the sport know that this is an option if you get something nice. It's like recognition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, just on that point, I think it was one of them things we had never really, when we started shooting, was the furthest thing from our mind. We were just, we're hunting and enjoying our hunting and stuff. Probably, I think it's probably been a kind of a gradual evolution of maybe going over to Hungary a little bit, speaking to people like Larry. There is a little bit of game management in there, which I like the idea of. Yeah,
I suppose when we started out, I won't say uneducated, but there's a lot to learn. And as you go through and learn more and more, I suppose you start opening up to different things like the CIC marking system. Sure, I wouldn't have cared about that.
Yeah.
But now I've gone to Hungary. They use it. They mark our heads on that system.
Yeah.
Now I'm back home. That's here as well. So I want to get, you start becoming more educated on your sport as a whole. Even down to the point we were having a chat with Larry and he was talking about the management of herds here in Ireland.
Yeah.
Right? And his thoughts on it. And then I was naive in the fact thinking that most of the deer in Wicklow are Sika, true Sika.
Yeah.
And they're not. They're a hybrid of different species of Sika.
Yeah.
So, and then the different hybrids between red and Sika. So, look, it's hugely educational.
Yeah, and that's, I think, that's part of fucking growing up and when you're young, all you want to do is get out and hunt and shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's what we all want to do. And so we don't want to be, this is definitely not, oh Jesus, we're frowning upon people who still do that. That's because we're at our deep ingrained, that's what we are, so, but probably as you probably get a little bit older, and this is I had, and this is blind fate or whatever you want to call it, but I knew I was going to get a medal. I knew it was going to get a medal.
I didn't even think about it.
Yeah. And then I had started to, obviously, there's a few people writing in, and I was looking up a few bits and pieces, and we had taken some measurements which we probably could have thrown in the bin because we were measuring wrong. But I kind of knew from all them bits and pieces I was there, I thought, like I was, if you had asked me yesterday on the way up there, I would have been betting this was a gold, right? But it wasn't, regardless of the colour of the medal, it didn't really matter to us. We wanted, obviously, the process, and then brilliant if we got a medal, because I would have been kind of hoping that you did get a medal, obviously. But then, as I said, when we were going up yesterday, if it got bronze, it'd be deadly, because it give you, now I can chase me silver, and then you can start to pick and choose the animals that you think is going to surpass that one, if you get me.
Yeah, you can start becoming more selective.
Yeah.
And in return, helping the herd.
Yeah.
That you're not just going out and shooting everything. But now that I have a silver and we have it mounted, now I'd like a bronze and a gold in that species for the wall. But look, years ago I wouldn't have thought about any of that. I didn't actually have a trophy on the wall.
That's right.
For years.
Yeah.
It's only in the last maybe 3 years I started putting up.
Because we were going out, we were just going out and we were hunting. We didn't, it's like, I suppose, and speaking with Larry there yesterday, it's probably again, we've spoke about this, our short culture and heritage in hunting. That's probably, like, we don't have the couple of hundred years that Hungary has had, Central Europe, you know what I mean? Whereas we were either a country of poachers, because we had to survive during colonial times, or if you were on the other side of that fence, you were game warden, gamekeeper, so, and when them estates were all broken up, by and large, all that kind of, it was just open, and I actually like the idea of the type of hunting we have here, where there's a lot of freedom compared to other countries. But on the other side of that, we still need to look after it. We can't have we can't take it for granted. That's all, that's what I've come to learn anyway,
I fully agree. I do think, because we're of that mindset and the hunting fractions are all fractured, I believe there's no one overarching body that brings them all together. And you see it. Jesus Christ. You see it on the posts that we put up. Like, for instance, now I'm not trying to cause any controversy, right? But you put up, Lakelands gave us knives to test. You were taking off the head of a deer.
Yep.
Yeah. You did a better job than I normally do, because I'm normally wrestling with the head, right? So you took the head off. We put up the post just to show how sharp the knives were. And all of a sudden there's a load of backlash. Like, one fella said, you should only take 2 cuts. Right? Grant. If it should only take 2 cuts, show me how you're doing it. And that's not me being smart.
No.
That's me saying, make a video and show us, teach us.
Yeah.
Because that's what we're trying to, be open and embrace of all the field sports. And turning on each other, I don't think helps.
It doesn't in any shit. And that's probably, it's a double-edged sword. We put ourselves out there. Obviously, look, I don't, nor do you. Don't give content. Like, I do bite back sometimes, but I do be sitting there laughing. How, there's another comment put up, like, throw it up in your shoulders. It's no bigger than a Labrador. All this kind of stuff. And it's all this kind of machismo. Right, Grant? Like, if we're in a benching competition, great. Now we can have that conversation. But I've no more than yourself. You've run up and down fucking hills in different countries and done our hard shit. It's trying to make things a little bit easier. We're trying to make them, not for the sake of it,
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying, absolutely. We put it up. If there's a better way, show us, great. Because we'll take that on board, no fucking problem. If there's an easier, quicker, simpler way, great.
100%. And I have to hand it to you, and I'd be of the same mindset. We're open to learning.
Yeah.
And I don't be biting back at anyone. I really don't.
Yeah.
Right? I normally do be laughing. For some reason, on this occasion, when they start attacking, they can say whatever they want about me, but when they start attacking you about it, I was going, oh, that's actually not bad. No, hold on now, you.
I actually do you know what? I put it up, and I knew when I was putting it up.
Did you?
Yeah. One, because there's lads actually go to the bother of timing themselves grolic and deer, and it's a fantastic skill, and I am not knocking that, because if you can do that in 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes or 2 minutes 30, great. I have zero interest in. Now, just for the purpose of discussion here, I timed taking off the head. It was 22 or 23 seconds, right? I just on the video, and I was saying, are we really having a conversation about whether it takes 10 seconds or 30 seconds?
If it took you
minute.
22 minutes to take off the head,
I know it doesn't matter.
The head is off.
But that's my point. Is this what we're
It's just baffling to me. It really is.
We should be all kind of together. We should be saying to each other, lads, have you ever tried? Or if you move that blade 1 inch to the left or to the right, you'll actually hit such and such
the Atlas joint.
Yeah, perfect.
But right, I get that. Even if someone is brilliant and they put up a video, someone will have another way of, for instance, I watched the Hungarians. Now, if you want to argue with the Hungarian lads that have gone to college for 4 years and are trained in this, they go from underneath the neck, not behind the ear.
Yeah.
So everyone has a different way of doing it, and that's okay. But I don't go around judging everyone.
No.
Like I've seen some things up on Facebook and Instagram, the book face, and people doing things that I wouldn't necessarily do, but I'm not on there slating them. Like, they're doing their thing. Perfect.
One of the comments, actually, I was just looking at them there. One of them said, that man doesn't know how to take off a deer head.
But the head came off.
I'm there like, man, you do know what you're after saying.
Yeah.
You don't know how to take off a deer head. It just literally was on the ground. And then I have another one, which I'm going to put up anyway. And it's one, and this is exactly what goes wrong. Like, I could do one deer, perfect. On one day, on when I'm hawking them, and it'll just, I'll hit exactly, it'll be like, they'll fall off, Another time, man, I'll hit all 4 wrong, either half an inch too low or half an inch too light. And I'll fuck it, and I'll recut it.
But dude, name a fella who hits the joint every time.
I know, but that's, Well, are we trying to, as a community, is this what we're trying to do? We're trying to say, like, lads, this is social media, right? I can't believe the hunters are actually buying into, and we're on it because we have to be. Are we buying into the bullshit that, it's like you wake up every morning, jump out of bed, and what a lovely day, all this kind of fucking look at me, I'm great type stuff. Yeah. Is that what we're going with as hunters? No. Like, come on.
No, I'm not taking you on a
balls. Do you know what I mean?
I'm not taking you on a mad rant.
I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
What other things? Oh, I wanted to bring up our new product. I think this is going to be deadly, man.
It is a bit of a game, because we were watching one compared to another product that we've been using, just literally down on my head wall.
So for the last couple of years, we've been bleaching. Like I said, we didn't really go after trophies, but since we have, to make them whiter, because my other half wouldn't let them into the house if they weren't, like, aesthetically pleasing. So I needed to get them white. So I was bleaching them with peroxide. But it makes them real brittle, doesn't bring them up wide enough for me. And when you put the peroxide in boiling water, the fumes it throws out, it can't be good for you. So we sat down with a manufacturer and came up with a new product. We're calling it IHP Whiteout. But isn't it a nicer shade of white? Yeah, it genuinely is. But we're actually going to, even if we go out and take a hind next week, we'll just do I think what you said was half and half kind of comparisons, just to show. Yeah, and I'm excited about that, because I haven't gone into a gun shop and seen a bleaching kit. Yeah. You mean that's easy to use? This is simply paint on, leave it. Yeah, and that's what we want to try and do. We want to try and make it kind of accessible for lads that want to try this themselves and just no fuss. Yeah. So it's, boil out as normal if you want to. We do throw a bit of detergent in ours just to give it a bit of a nicer smell. Any sort of grease. And takes the grease off it. And then paint the stuff on and away you go. Yeah. Is that it? Yeah. Yeah. So I tell you, the last head I didn't fully boil out properly. I was in the sitting room, and Laura goes, "There's a smell off that," and I was trying to convince myself there was, but when I got close enough to it, I was like, "Oh no, fuck, there is a smell off that."
Yeah.
So I actually missed a piece in the nose. I had to bring it back out and
Redo. Yeah. Look, it happens to the worst of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, like that. I think I love the label. It's really cool. It's kind of the next evolution of the few bits that we have on the website. So so now you can get your plaque. Huge interest in the plaques, which I'm delighted about, because we're going back to what we're saying. We're trying to create space to, like, the trophy hunters. And I'm just going to. I was thinking about this last night, because there's the Face Europe. I think we're doing a little post on it there earlier on about the benefit of trophy hunters. To the better, the management of the herd and better genetics and so on. And then I've been thinking that's actually a fantastic summarization of it. If we can get more people to be looking at their heads as trophies, like we did, because it don't have to be the biggest ones or the best ones, but it does start to get you thinking in that process.
Yeah,
So
no, I'd agree.
So now I'd be urging people, get them up on the wall, and then you can start to, like I do, I know you do, start to look at that one compared to that one. Do you know what I mean? Now you're looking at the differences, the thicknesses, the beam lengths, all that sort of stuff, the genetics in terms of taking the bat. Like, we were doing it kind of unknowns to ourselves up in some of our spots, we've a yoke down there, man, it's like an alien, when you look back, we were there, this is great,
Yeah.
But it was the right one to take. Little we didn't know at that time.
Yeah.
So now we're kind of.
I was taking spikers, like a young red, thinking that was a killer.
Yeah.
Like early doors.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's a kid. No, doesn't even have pedicles or roses yet.
Yeah.
So that's a max 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So I should have been leaving them. They could have turned out to be, but I was uneducated.
Yeah, yeah, and that's, I suppose. So that's why I'd be kind of saying to people now, look, doesn't matter. Get them up on the wall. Let they're your trophies. But then try and get the better one. Try and leave one that's going to come on, or if you can, because I can guarantee you, from our perspective here, sitting here today, I'm happier now with what I'm doing now than I was.
Yeah.
Kablamo and everything. Do you know what I mean? And that's just being honest about it.
It makes you more patient.
Yep.
Yeah, you start looking at things a little bit different. But look, it's not for everyone. But as you get older, like I'm there in my mid-40s, as I get older, I want to leave something for my young lad that is now into the sport.
Exactly.
You know?
Who would have thought, man, like this year, like we've put stuff, I sat for an hour and a half with 6 stags in my scope,
Yeah.
Zooming in, and I get up my binos, watch one for fucking 20 minutes for him to take his head up the right way. No, that's young stag. I'll leave him. That was only the other day.
Yeah.
Up in our other spot, I let a stag go that 3 years ago, man. If that thing had been in my scope,
yeah,
it was going. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. That leads you perfect on to how did that stock go?
Yeah. We went up to our usual haunt and went to 2.
Our usual haunt. It's one of 2 haunts.
Yeah. Oh yeah, up in Wicklow, I mean.
Yeah.
But and it was really weird because we had gone up a couple of times since, and we'd seen very little.
Very, very little. The last day we seen 2, a doe and a calf, and we ended up taking them for the freezer.
Yeah.
But not a whole lot really moving.
No. You said a theory when we were up there was...
I know, don't be listening to my theory.
I know, yeah, but it was just interesting. If anyone's heard of, there's certain times of the year where the deer just go quiet with
the moon cycles?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's people believe in that stuff.
Yeah.
People tell you that it's rubbish, but it makes more sense if there was brighter light they could feed at night.
At night time, yeah.
And then they'd sleep up during the day, maybe. I don't know.
Definitely something. It was the quietest I've seen, and then, but prior to that, I haven't even named him. I normally name, I don't know what I'm going to call him. and I'm going to be completely honest about this shot because this is going to, and I don't care, be slightly controversial, grand. Where we shoot, we have no choice but to shoot between 150 to 200 meters because we're shooting down. It's on the edge of a forestry. They have to come out from the forestry. If we try and bridge that gap, there's a big open space. You've nowhere to go. So we can rest up on this bank, and on one side we've about 150 to 170 meters, down on the right hand side of the bank. And if we come up underneath a tree, we're 200 meters.
Yeah,
220.
Yeah, right back to the very top of that forestry line is about 270.
270. Yeah. But generally they come out in that kind of
green area,
patch of green grass there. So generally they'd be in there. So that's the backstory. But on this particular occasion, between the two fields, we had observed maybe 6-7 stags.
Yeah.
Ranging in spikers, 6-pointers.
And it was funny, they were all still sort of holding Hinds.
Yeah, there was one kind of sniffing and trying to buck, and she was having none of it.
Yeah.
And it was weird. Yeah, it's kind of like maybe the second round. I don't know.
Yeah. Because the rut was on. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was still very warm.
Yeah.
Is this cold snap after bringing them back into a second rut?
Maybe so.
Has anyone else experienced that?
I've seen on talking about the book face, a couple of people saying stags are still whistling in certain areas up until last week. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's going on since September. Stags whistling till now we're in December. So, but it definitely was the strongest when we were up there, closer to yours.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely tapering off. But anyway, so I was up. I was actually down on the mound on the bipod, like that, just with binos, waiting, looking through the gorse, and I wait for ages, man. I think is one stage you were actually messaging me. You were up at the other spot and said, "Anton," and I said, "Yeah," but I didn't know what I would. So I focused in and range find. Yeah, grand. Up at next thing, he put up his head, and be young 6-pointer, and now I know just no interest in taking one of them. So
you actually said it because I was trying not rush you, but you were like, "Oh, there's a lot of 6-pointers." I was like, "Okay, shoot one, will you?"
Yeah, I just had, and then funny enough, I think I'd glassed this fella before. He was just kind of what I thought was sitting just at the edge of the gorse, and there was 2 hinds right in front of him, and he was kind of watching them. Then another stag comes over and tries to buck one of them. She was having none of it, like getting him off. Zoomed in on him, 6-pointer. And I was I looked back again. I said, "Oh, that's an 8." Just as the way he was. So anyway, I waited, and he was kind of sitting just slightly angled ways onto me. Rangefinder was 192 meters. And I went next shot.
Yep.
Okay. And here's the downside of next shot at distance, right? Is exactly what happened. So he rolled over, I seen him in the scope, rolling over all fours into the air. Grand, he's after grand. The next thing, about 30 seconds later, I see, so back in the binos, this thing up and scampered and did another tumble. I said, fuck, right? So I didn't want to pressure it because pressure, it's gone into, there's a quilt release on the far side of us, and then there's a deep wood on the other side. Didn't want to pressure it, so waited for a minute or two, and then I start to make my way through. There's a bit of an old drain on the left hand side down, and when I get up, the deer still had not expired. That's 2, 3, 4 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
So, and that's me shooting. That's 100%. I decided to take that shot, so it's all on me. I could have heart and lung that thing, or I could have waited another 30 seconds and took a broadside shot, right? And so I just wanted to highlight the fact that next shooting, just from a new hunter's perspective, because you will be told next shooting is the only way, yeah? I don't believe it's the only way. I believe it's absolutely, and I do it myself, you do it as well, I know. So we're not here saying don't do it, but I am saying definitely for if I'm bringing my young lad out, I'm teaching him heart and lung first all day long, because there's that slight variance.
You have room for error with a heart and lung.
Yeah.
Yeah. People like to probably look at their own shooting ability, and normally they don't have a bad light on their own shooting ability. You know?
Yeah.
So if you think you're a great shot and you're average, then maybe next shooting's not the way to go for everybody.
Yeah.
You know? Heart and lung, especially for new shooters, gives them a larger area in case they do snatch the trigger.
Yeah.
Or the deer decides to take half a step.
Yeah.
You're still guaranteed a dead deer.
Which has happened to both of us numerous times.
I
now.
have missed, and I've said this openly, a sitter stag. The one in Hungary, for instance.
Yeah.
This is one of many I've missed. When it first stepped out, I misjudged the range of that. I was going heart and lung, and I missed. Complete, outright miss.
There you go.
And anyone who tells you that they never miss, or they never flinch in a shot, or more than likely they're lying.
Without a doubt. So within that remit, right, this is more for the people who are just getting into the game or less experienced and are kind of being maybe pressurized a little bit into next shooting. I would suggest, this is from my perspective, leave the next shooting for a little bit down the line where you can, number one, you're confident in your shooting ability, like over a sustained period of time. Even at the start of every season, I find myself going back to me fucking first day shooting, like jittery, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you I think you said to me a couple of times, do a bit of dry fire, and all those sorts of things help, you know. But I find, because you're all excited, and then a stag jumps up in your scope, adrenaline starts to pump, so you get, and I'm presuming that's the same for most hunters, I presume.
But even if you take all of that out of it, even if you're fucking ice running through your veins and you're deadly, a piece of kit and equipment can fail on you. Your shooting stick can move. Like, there are other factors bar your shooting abilities.
Yeah.
But not everyone's shooting abilities are the same. Because their kit and equipment, one is different. They might know how to match bullets to their barrels. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or their nodes for the barrels. Like, there's lots of different things. The angle that you're shooting at someday can fuck you completely up.
No, and that is, I was just going to, and this is a question to you, and so we were shooting, not a huge angle, right? But I put it on a neck, but I went slightly lower on it. Now, we're only talking, because obviously your target is what, 9 inches probably?
Yeah.
If you take the hair out of it, probably a little bit less.
Yeah.
So your tolerance level for mistake is a lot less. But we were obviously shooting down a good bit.
Yeah.
And I went, like, I obviously hit him slightly lower than I anticipated.
Yeah.
I didn't take into account any
The angle.
No.
And in the heat of the moment, or like, it's no different than last when we were talking about dogs, tailwind, you know it, but in that moment you have forgotten that this is actually happening.
Yeah.
Same way when you're looking, oh, there's a stag, you're not even looking at the angle that you're shooting.
Yeah. And obviously then, as that distance pushes out slightly,
it's going to affect it more and more.
More and more. Yeah. So what I am saying is, yes, I've done it because we were putting it into the factory and stuff, and but anyone who's telling you it's more humane for it is more. It's as humane for the animal, a neck shot, if it goes off, as it is a heart shot. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, I've seen both going wrong. It's the truth.
But that's what I'm saying. That they're both as, but I've went for heart and lung, you know, and I've missed heart, you know, hit lungs, and
at least this way you still have
exactly
a dead deer. It mightn't be on the spot, but you have a dead deer. I have seen with my own eyes someone shoot a deer in the neck. Thing went down like what happened to you. They put the gun away. Sure, let's go and recover this thing. I was watching from a distance. Now it's not funny, right?
Yeah.
Even though I might laugh halfway through this because I know the individual and sure, then I'm open to slagging him forever.
Mm-hmm.
But as he got closer, the thing got up and ran and then stood. So then he was, I seen him like take a couple of steps back towards the car, oh no, I'll just go after him. He ended up chasing this thing.
Yeah.
Never recovered the deer.
Yeah. And that's like, you take that deer that's now on the wall. If that had went into, it just happened that it rolled and came out into if it had took it into his head to run into the forestry,
Yeah.
I had a job, because it ran, even next shot, it ran, did a tumble between where I shot it and where it ended up was 100 meters, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now, if it goes, it only had about 20, 30 meters back into the woods. If I went in there, I could have been in a job,
Yeah, trying to
and he
find
still
it.
wasn't expired,
Yeah.
So, but yeah, but look, so I just wanted to say that, yeah, that's hands up. That's what happened. So you can make of it what you wish. If you still want to do your great, and I'm not saying there's far better shooters than me or who are more than capable next shooting, and they'll do it. And I'm not saying there's not that conversation for them. It's more for
the newer shooters.
Yeah.
Don't let anyone pressure you into a shot you're not comfortable with.
Yeah.
The idea of hunting is harvesting an animal. The best way for a new shooter to do that is with the biggest area possible to take an animal. That's, I suppose,
that's the name. And I know all the courses that are being run are teaching heart and lung, and that's the reason why. It's like, man, you wouldn't, if you were teaching a new hunter or a distance shooter or something, you wouldn't put him on a target 500 meters away straight away. You'd put him on 100 meters and you start to build his confidence, his distance, his capability, and so on. Same thing. You start at the biggest target area, and then if you want to start narrowing that in, because like, it's still accumulated in a dead deer for me.
Yeah.
Because probably now my tolerance is a little bit less than it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So even though it was a slightly bad shot, it was still within the remit that the deer wasn't going far. So,
but with all that, lads, you do you.
Exactly.
If you want to do it, just go ahead and do it.
We're not telling anyone to do anything. It's
just telling you that I have seen and Anto has seen
first
shots go wrong.
Yeah.
In heart and lung and everything. So
yeah. But yeah, other than that, then we had a bit of a drag back out.
Yeah.
And just for everyone as well, I know we're getting a little bit of steam at the minute. We didn't grollick it where it's it. We dragged it nearly 1 kilometre, and we grollicked it just on the edge of. There's a little kind of bit of scrub and so on, because we didn't want to bring it out into the man's yard and grollick it there. He doesn't mind us shooting, dragging him, pulling through, but
he doesn't mind the offal being left out there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he'd appreciate the offal.
No, nor would I. No. So that's what we did. We dragged it the last bit, grollicked, what was it, 40, 50 meters, whatever it was. So, okay, we were well aware of the hygiene and all that kind of stuff. And believe me, it was far easier to grollick it where I shot it and then pull it.
Yeah.
So I knew all about it. But yeah,
don't be letting them in at you, buddy.
I know. We might as well get it all off our chest. that was a nice.
He's a nice 8-pointer.
He is nice,
and you've done that one in the new product. And there's a different color of that,
and all the rest of them.
It's a lovely, like it's a white.
Yeah.
And should I call it white?
White. Yeah, you said white. I said there is a little bit of connotation there. Hunters will get it. You know what I'm saying for the mess. All right, yeah. White out. Yeah. So those that'll get just a bit of sport.
You know.
If you know, you know. Yeah. So yeah, look, but we're delighted to test this, and hopefully it'll open up a little bit of avenue for lads who want to do it themselves.
Yeah.
And I can attest. I did it. Paint it on. Leave it.
It's grand. It's a lot easier. But like that, if someone has a different way of doing a European mount, that's. Do up a little. It doesn't have to be a masterpiece of a video. Just a little quick explanation of a video.
Yeah.
And sure, we'll share the shit out of it if it's any use.
We've only learned from horrendous amount of fucking trial and error.
Yeah.
I find now, skinning it, the head, taking out the eyeballs, taking off all the cheek meat and taking off the bottom jaw, and then obviously the tongue can come out and the kind of
the meat of the palate. Yeah.
So now you're just reducing the boil time. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
And you get away with a little bit less.
I still struggle with the bottom jaw.
Do you?
Yeah, you may show me how to take it off properly. I end up like trying to crowbar it off and all. So you may show me next time.
You know, and look, I couldn't explain it to you. I just, as I'm working around it, I kind of, oh yeah, it's there. There's a little bit of cartilage up along the
Goes
jawbone.
up into yeah.
But if you get that kind of cartilage and meat around that, it tends just to open up. But yeah, look, we'll definitely do that over the next while. Then we were back on the little bit of what would you say, work for the farmer, taking out a few dough.
Yeah, a dough and a calf.
Say Hinds and calf.
Hind.
Or anyone.
I have to keep saying
Yeah,
Hind.
I know.
Yeah, so there was two. So there was a hind and a calf. It was first light. They were the only two that we actually seen. I was actually able to pick them up in my scope. You were saying about 10 minutes before. I don't know if it was 10 minutes, but it was a bit.
Oh, I'd even say 10 to 15, but yeah.
Yeah, because I could see two black blobs right at the start. You couldn't see it.
Mm-hmm.
Then I could see them clearly. Like, oh, I can shoot now.
Yeah.
Like, this is 100% safe. And you were going, I just see black blobs. So
yeah.
There is a difference in the glass. Like, that is really good glass.
It's phenomenal glass, man. Like,
yeah.
I know my glass is not, you know, what I want at this minute in time. Even the illuminator rate I turn on, it blots out my screen. You know, it's a tactical scope, right? Grand. But I cannot wait to get my new scope.
Yeah. I am having one small issue with it.
Yeah. Go on,
yeah.
explain to us.
So the glass quality is deadly. Like first glass light, I'm more than happy with. I do like the turret because you can lock it. There's a little lever to lock. The only thing I'm finding is people are going to say this happens with every scope. It doesn't happen with every scope. Right? I've had lots of scopes. In wet or foggy conditions, it blurs up. And then when I try and wipe it, it goes blurry.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Now it does
smudgy.
go smudgy. Now that's not huge. I can still shoot through it, but I don't like it. So I presume it's the coatings that are on it.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's anything I can do, if anyone knows, if there's something that can be done for that.
Yeah, there might be some sort of spray or something you can put on the glass.
Yeah, but I'm genuinely really happy with that piece of glass.
Oh, that whole sequence, because we were watching, we sometimes have found ourselves in a position where there's been two deer in around this particular spot. I take the one on the left, you take the one on the right. And what we haven't realised is because we're a couple of meters apart, that there could be another deer in the mix, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then we ended, I think on one occasion we actually shot the same deer.
We did, because I went, mine's down.
So was mine.
Yeah.
And we both heard the slap, bang, bang, you know.
Yeah. And then we went up, there's only one there. And I was, no, that's the one, 2 holes in it. We wouldn't be the cleverest.
No. But anyway, so on this particular occasion, we didn't, because there was actually a small tree in between the two of them. But I was taking the one on the right, and you were taking the one on the left.
Yeah.
Well,
I actually didn't even see that there. So what happened was, there was 2. I said, go on, you take one, because you wanted one for the house.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you shot, it buckled. And I was like, perfect. The one to the right of that had disappeared. And then you went, oh, there's one off to the left. I was like, oh, where? And then I was panicking to find it.
Yeah.
I ended up finding it, squeezed the trigger, heard the slap, and then the thing ran.
Yeah.
Ran off to me right. And the sound of the thud, like it was an unmerciful thud, which normally is an indication
of bad shots, yeah.
A bad shot in the belly region. So now I was going, no, I know I was panicked. Not panicked, but I was rushed. But it did sound like a bad shot. And you started fucking in on me straight away.
I said, geez, man, because you know the suction of a heart and lung is kind of like it's taken a bit of the there was a bit of an echo.
It's like a fallopian sound. Yeah. So anyway, went up, got
if your you know, you know.
If you know, you know. But you got your dare dropped on the spot.
Yeah.
Mine had ran a bit. We seen where it entered, went over. The thing was there. It was actually shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Which I was very surprised with the sound, with the report I would have thought.
And now it didn't so we knew it was injured because I was watching it in the glass.
Yeah.
So it ran back the ways towards the wood and then
Swung it right.
swung right back down the hill, obviously, and then just dipped into the forestry line, you know. But like that, so it didn't do its normal run, so we knew it was hit. But how it got, like it ran a fair
clip
with
one
no shoulder, like
no shoulder, and like it was a good shoulder.
It was a
shot,
good shot, yeah.
But it probably was full of adrenaline after the first shot going off because it knew, and then it was hit. So I'd say if it was unawares and was just hit outright, it probably would have folded. Maybe.
I think you're right, man. Because you know what the bow hunting and stuff over in America, that's what they say is a lot of the time the deer don't travel very far because they don't realize they're after getting shot. It's just like whoa, and they're not as the adrenaline doesn't spike.
Yeah.
You would think it would be the other way, you know, with a bow and, you know, but anyway.
So we have 2 in the freezer at the moment.
Yep.
To be butchered. How's the freezer working out for you?
Yeah. I'm ultra impressed with this machine, man.
Go on, tell me why.
Well, there's a couple of things, and there's more as they kind of go on. And like you say, like a fridge or whatever, but there's loads of little things. It's designed for hunters, you know, so all the drains, you know, like for because there's a bit of blood, you know, it's really easy to fucking clean, and they all come down into 2 bungs, little fucking plate for or
drip tray. Yeah.
The racking system.
Yeah, so I haven't had the same hands-on experience you've had with it.
Yeah.
But I did help you hang them.
Yeah.
And what I liked was the racking system.
Yeah, sure, man, we've often been trying to squeeze into a fridge and trying to...
The 2 of us, shoulder to shoulder. And
my fingers underneath the hook. Yeah. Fucking lift it.
I like how easy it was to put them in, and I liked how much room, even with 2 in there, you'd easily get, like with no hassle, another 2.
Another 2.
Maybe even 3 if you had 2 calves or something.
Yeah. Because the calf that I shot, right, it was a yearling. Because it was...
It's not a calf.
It's not a... Like, there wasn't a whole pile of difference when you're up in the freezer. Obviously, in weight-wise, there was. But, like, in the actual size of the animal, you know, the length and so on. And yeah, it's done to perfection, as in they fit back to back perfectly. And you can slide another 2 on there.
Yeah.
And a cool feature yesterday, actually, I did a little video of it when I seen it, was when you open the door, the fan cuts off immediately. So it doesn't try and keep cooling itself. You know what I mean?
Does it give you a warning on the if the door's open too long?
If the door's left open, I didn't time it, but it does. It starts to beep.
Yeah.
So if it's not shut properly, and there's a little key lock on the top with a drop lock, so that...
That's actually very handy. It is. And I tell you why that's handy, because we've often squeezed in there and the door can pop open on you. So that is handy to be able to lock it, yeah.
Because you know the way sometimes it's probably not going, but I'd say with the legs were red.
Yeah.
With a neck, you know yourself, it's after going through a little bit of rigor mortis, and then
it's all bendy.
Bendy, and next thing it decides to flop down because its gravity's put, and next thing it opens, and that has happened to us.
Yeah.
Open the door, so it is a really handy little piece of kit.
You might do a little video and bang that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And if anyone wants one, tip on over to gamecooling.ie. There's other little features that we hope to get in the near future. You'll see where I've put the fridge in front of our winch.
Yeah.
So there's extendable bars that come out that you can...
So you don't even have to wrestle the thing in there.
No. What you can do is you can get these little... See, the tubes and the bars are open.
Yeah.
So now I haven't seen them. I've just seen pictures and stuff on the website. So they can come out of the fridge. So what you can do is you can just lift your deer up on your winch or on your gimbal.
Winch. Yeah.
And then you can just tip on your hooks onto your 2 rails and just slide the deer straight in.
Right. Yeah. Now for reds, whatever about Seeker, you can manhandle a Seeker, right? Even a hybrid probably.
Yeah.
Now it's hard going. Those hybrids are big.
Yeah.
But the reds, that is very handy for that.
Very handy.
Winch it straight up, slide it onto that, slide them in.
Slide them in. It's magic.
You could save your back.
It's obviously designed by hunters for hunters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So look, I don't know whether anyone's seen it. Tom in Game Cooling, I think he's setting up a little showroom down the road shortly. And there's just ranges of gear, gimbals and hooks and butchering equipment, even, you know, you can get like slidey trays for the fridges, you know what I mean? So so I can go from your game holding fridge to, you know.
Some people just think we're going out and just doing a bit of hunting. There's a whole supply chain behind
that. Yeah.
If you want to do home butchery yourself.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to get a butcher that will butcher for you.
Yeah.
Do you mean like they're like hen's teeth? So if you want to do it yourself, and I like the way we do it ourselves because you're learning a new skill.
Exactly.
I say we're doing it ourselves. You're doing it for me. I leave me deer here and I go, I'll be over to butcher that. And sure.
Magic.
I come back and it's done. But
I will need a hand with these two. Just put it out there.
And don't be like that.
I have to be man out. Come on.
I'll give you a little dig out.
Fair play to you.
I'll make the tea.
1st and 6. But
I do like the learning behind all the butchering.
Yeah.
And you know you're getting your own meat back. Because I have heard stories of lads getting less meat and then they weren't even sure if it was off their animal. You know? So,
yeah. And there, even if you are, like, if you do have a butcher, it's a lot of the time is, you can't bring that over here until Monday or Tuesday. And if you were after shooting at the weekend, you still need somewhere to store it and all that. And another thing that we're trying to start to lean towards is, like, I'm doing bigger joints of meat. I want to do different cuts to show, because we really want to highlight the possibilities of venison and the versatility of it, you know.
some of the rubs that you make are actually very good.
Yeah.
You have a venison one there now that is mouth water.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a little bit of magic dust we could bottle.
A little bit of magic. Yeah, well, I have to, because I kind of make that a little bit different every time I make it. So that's what Avril said. I'm going to have to, like, record, like, I said, just put, you know, about
a sprinkle of this.
And she said, no, you need to, like, measure this stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So what I am going to do over the next while is I'm going to start tinkering with that kind of recipe. And I gave it to, actually, Alan Daly was here one of the days. I met him at one of the baguettes with that rub on the thing, and he had asked for it, what I did with it. So we will be doing that. Hopefully trying to.
There's so many irons in the fire.
I know, man. I know. But that was our deer hunting, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's all the deer stalking we got, yeah.
We got a little bit of dog training, but we spoke about that in the last episode.
Yeah, and you were out doing a nice little bit of rough shooting.
Rough shooting, yeah. Yeah, I went out with my dad on Sunday.
Yeah.
It was his birthday Monday, so I said I'd bring him out for a walk on Sunday. And we didn't actually put up a pheasant, believe it or not, but there was plenty of snipe back in. I wasn't going to pull the trigger on a pheasant. I was going to let my dad obviously pull the trigger there, but I was more interested in a woodcock. But then there was loads of snipe lifting, so I pulled early on the first one. This was actually in the first field, beside where you shot your pheasant in the first. One got up and clean missed 2 barrels at the snipe, and the other was looking at me. What is he doing? Anyway, but I was more interested in trying to control my dog a little bit, keep her pulled back. And then we went into, I haven't even put up the video yet, but a nice left and right on a pair of snipe.
Nice.
Yeah, so I got 3 snipe for the day. One actually got up, my father was over the left hand side, and I said, snipe in here. It was big rushes, and there was a little bit of a kind of a puddle in the middle of it, so you could see it from the edge. And I said, we'll just go over here and run this for a second. So I kind of knew there was something going to lift in it. One pull from the left, bang, and then just as that one rose nearly beneath my shoe to go to the right, and I just swung around. I'm not putting a bead back in that gun, man.
You don't need it.
Don't need it.
You're knocking them all over.
But yeah, I got on camera. So yeah, I was happy with that.
Deadly. And we're going to get them. Like, I have a couple of birds now that I want to bring to the taxidermy. We were trying to fit in getting to him this week.
Yeah.
The week's had to run away with us. Different bits and pieces. So
we'll definitely get them out. And then I was out last night or night before doing a bit of shooting, and I wanted to go walk for the dog.
Yeah.
And like that again, great indicators. I knew there was something after running into the thing, so I sent her into the ditch, and she went into the ditch and back out the other side. But obviously, just speak to you about this. You might throw your own light on it, but
oh Jesus!
when she went into the ditch, what happens? Or obviously she doesn't know, but she loses the scent because the water. You know what I mean? So she was out in the other field and she was kind of like, I had sent her a second ago, where's it gone? Do you know what I'm saying? And with that, she came to come back in, and then Rose the pheasant, obviously, it came back out my side. And I just swung around and bang. It was terrible on the shot cam. It didn't pick it up. Just picked up the pheasant dropping.
Yeah.
But I'd say probably because I was kind of swinging. And with that, she was just had to come back in. She was looking at, she didn't know where to shot because she couldn't mark the bird. And the bird was like a fox, just it had dropped, like creeled. And with that, then I sent her. And just as I was sending her, the pheasant pops up and says, boom, boom, boom,
So it
boom,
was a runner, yeah.
do a little runner. And took off like a hare. But she,
Straight in.
yeah, now she had a little bit of a job, stop it, because I was trying to obviously, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So she had to go at it a couple of times and bring it back to me. But the benefit of a dog, man.
Isn't that a great learning experience for a dog? Is that the dog's first runner?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. And she didn't get, now she can be, she's a little bit rough with the snipe, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know?
Big, crunchy.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
But she's okay in the pheasant. The pheasants are big enough bird, but she's trying to get it into her mouth to present it to you, you know? So,
yeah.
Look, I can only, that's small work, you know?
Yeah.
She doesn't leave huge marks.
No.
But, yeah.
You leave it there?
I think we're happy with that.
Yeah. So we'll be back shortly.
Stay tuned, folks. Whiteout, coming soon.
Baby. Game changer.
Robert's very excited.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this. See you later.
Stay safe, stay shooting.
I like that. Stay safe, stay shooting. I like it.
I've been doing it for years. Now I have to fucking